What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing the Miami Heat now that their season is over after losing to the Cleveland Cavaliers via the sweep in the first round of the NBA playoffs. And after this series, right? Well, watching the series, let me talk about that first. This is a Miami Heat team that went into the play-in tournament, ultimately, beating the Chicago Bulls and also Atlanta Hawks to make the 10th seed. And I looked at this team and I said to myself, okay, they're prideful. We know about Heat culture, Eric Spoelstra, all of those things, right? But this is a team that stumbled during the latter stages of the season. They dealt with the whole Jimmy Butler situation. They dealt with, players not playing and playing, the whole Terry Rozier situation and things like that. You dealt with, Tyler Hero being an all-star this year and Bam Adebayo with Tyler Hero becoming main guys for your team. I looked at the Miami Heat going into this series, and I said, well, maybe they'll put up a fight, because we knew the Cleveland Cavaliers were just that dominant, especially during the regular season. I had the Cavs winning in a sweep anyway, but the way that the Miami Heat just ultimately laid down in the last two games of this series at home showed me everything that I needed to know about this team. Yes, we know Eric Spoelstra, great head coach, made it through the ranks, through the Miami Heat's organization, and that's great. We know about Pat Riley and his no budging, he has that my way or no way attitude when it comes to the Miami Heat. You look at this roster, top to bottom, and there's not a star on it. There's not a star player on this roster. Do I believe Tyler Hero is a good player? Yes. Do I believe Bam Adebayo is a good player? Yes. But they do not have a star. They don't have a star, and I get it because, in return for Butler, they got more role players. You got Andrew Wiggins, who was non-existent in that series versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. You look at other guys, and I feel like the Miami Heat is a team with Butler, making the NBA Finals twice with Jimmy Butler, and ultimately, now you look at a team where I feel like they have no guy like that. They don't have a prototypical dog on their team that you can lean on and say, go get me a basket. Because what I saw from Tyler Hero in that series versus the Cavs, outside of games 1 and 2, it was horrible. It was absolutely dreadful to watch. As a fan, not even as a fan of the Miami Heat, I'm a basketball fan first. I love the NBA and things like that. But to see what I saw in those last two games, now granted, I'm not taking anything away from the Cleveland Cavaliers being ultimately more prepared and executing at a very high level in that entire series. But the Miami Heat played awful. They played absolutely terrible, and especially in game 4, where you're down 50 points. And it's like, you could tell guys are just like chucking through the mud at that point. They don't want to be there. Guys just look uninterested. They're not executing well. And I know that's not coaching. It's players. And that's the other thing about the NBA that you hate also. It's like, this is professional basketball, and this is the product that you choose to put out there on the floor? That's horrible. In the first waning moments of that game, if I would have noticed that and I'm the head coach, listen, those guys that's out there on the floor, they could come sit next to me. Because that's the attitude that they were giving on the floor. It's like, I don't even want to be here. Let the offseason begin now. And speaking of the offseason for the Miami Heat, I'm going to segue into that. Of course, there's going to be rumblings about what they're going to do via trades or who they want to bring in, and things like that. But if they don't get a star, man, they have to get a guy that can go out there and put the team on its back. I'm gonna be honest. Even if it's in the realms of the rumblings of hearing about guys like Kevin Durant, possibly, that's one name, or Giannis, possibly, because we don't know where these guys are going to land in the offseason if they were to be traded. But I feel like the Miami Heat days of being championship contenders, which is so interesting because over the latter stages of the past 10 seasons, the Miami Heat have been in the NBA Finals 2 years. They went in the bubble year and they lost against the Denver Nuggets. So this is a Miami Heat team that knows how to put together the right pieces to the puzzle. But the days of championships with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, I feel like they're so far removed. A lot of NBA fans may forget that they were competing for titles in the past 20 years. So when you look at a Miami Heat team, I think they have a lot of things they need to address in the offseason. And it's going to be interesting to see because, of course, Miami is a staple where guys want to come to play. It's a great city, great atmosphere and things like that as far as, the nightlife and all of those other things that go into where you may want to spend your off season and things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Miami Heat do in the off season now that their season has ended. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. NBA fans, basketball fans, Miami Heat fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.